When they say, when politicians or religious leaders say they need to get on a plane to go to this country or that country to meet for a meeting to discuss world events, they don't actually have to do that at all. That is to reinforce into the mind of the people that 3D is all there is. There are certain hotels throughout the planet. For example, the Hilton hotel chain. You can go to a Hilton hotel and you can stay in a specific room. Numbers resonate energy. Colors resonate energy. So you go to, say, room 384. And when you go in that room and you go to sleep at night in that room, and then say somebody else is sleeping in a city 100 miles away in room 184, then they go to sleep, and then they are able to link energetically into 4D and have their meeting that way. Most of the spying that goes on, because the subconscious is deeply and intrinsically connected to 4D, most of the spying that goes on is not. I mean, it does go on. There are spies out there who go out and like in movies in that sense. But most of the spying goes on by injecting themselves into the subconscious of the person in 4D and then draining the information that way. Perhaps a little bit like the movie Inception. Perhaps a little bit like that. Not exactly, but a little bit like that. So, within 4D, with practice, you can do and be anything that you want to do. You can do and be anything that you want to do in there. Although the fourth dimension is pretty much controlled by still 99% controlled by the Anunnaki vampiric consciousness that is in control of the planet. They do have control of 4D as well. They don't have control of 5D completely, which is the next vibrational level up. They're trying to take control of 5D. Okay, so this parasitic vampiric consciousness that is trying to take complete control of Earth. Earth is the heart of the universe. What they would like you to believe is that we are in the middle of we're a spinning ball in the middle of nowhere, and that we don't count, and that we are insignificant, and that we're nothing. When in actual fact, the Earth is the gem of this part of the corner of the universe. They have taken. Okay, so we could look at it as an analogy. So we have crown, a third eye, throat,
Możemy popatrzeć na to przez analogię. Mamy koronę, trzecie oko,
solar plexus, sacrum,
gardło,
base.
Jeszcze splot słoneczny, serce i podstawę.
You got it? Yeah, okay. So each one of these chakra energy points represents a planet. They've taken control of all of them apart from the heart. The heart is the earth. Mars would be the base. That was the last time. Okay, so the war before here was on Mars, and we lost.
I przegraliśmy.
So then we came here and incarnated on this planet. Everybody here was also involved in the Mars war that was there in different capacities. I have complete memory. I have semi-memory of the work that I did on Mars and what I was doing there, and why. And I knew that I was coming here, and I implanted myself so that I would remember at this time what I needed to do. If I had not done that, I would be still in complete amnesia, and I wouldn't be able to fulfill the mission that I'm doing now. The implants look a little bit like Christmas lights that you put on a Christmas tree. They wound around the spinal cord. I wound them around the spinal cord. Each light would come on at different periods of time in my life to then allow me to remember certain things at certain times on certain dates. Okay, it shows how resilient the human heart is, because if they could just take us, you would think that they're all powerful and they can do this and that, but we're still here. It's 13,000 years later, and they haven't taken control of Earth heart. They haven't been able to do it. And this is very, very, very frustrating for them, because they want to break the heart of the human being. Okay, so if we go back to the Jesus story, and somebody asked me on a radio show the other day, well, why betrayal? Why is betrayal so important to the story? Well, betrayal is the ultimate way to hurt the heart. If you put your faith and love in somebody, and then they betray you, it's like this to the heart. That's why betrayal is, part of the story. It's birth, betrayal, death, rebirth. Is the human cycle. Is the human heart cycle. So what they did to make things even more complex and even more difficult for human beings is 99% of human beings only have 2-strand DNA when we're supposed to have 12-strand or 22-strand DNA. 99% of us have 2-strand DNA. The 2-strand DNA that we have is reptilian and mammalian. Now, the reptile and the mammal don't go together, don't fit together. They are they are diametrically opposed on every level. Okay, so depending on the individual themselves, some people have a higher reptilian DNA and some people have a higher mammalian DNA. The mammalian DNA is nurturing, compassionate, understanding. It takes care of its young, it feeds its young, and the reptile the reptile leaves its young to fend for itself, and the ones that die are considered weak, and the ones that survive are considered strong, because they believe in the basis of the reptilian being is raw survival. Okay, so that was done to create essentially more chaos within.
I to zostało zrobione głównie po to, żeby wprowadzić jeszcze więcej chaosu.
What they've done, what they're trying to do is isolate the human being with more and more and more technology, so that we do not connect with each other. There is an artificial intelligence system that now has all the information on everybody in here. Anytime anybody puts anything into Google, it has now become a sentient conscious being. It's called the Beast computer, and it's in Belgium. It's held in Belgium, and it has extremely intimate details on every person on the planet. Okay, but to fight we fight with the heart, okay, because it can have as many details as it wants on as much as anybody as it wants to have, but the heart is an infinite love. It can't be detailed, it can't be categorized. It's source energy. I'm not sure how much anybody understands about the moon, or if they know that it's an unnatural satellite, that it's not a moon like in the same way other planets have moons. It was placed there, and it is a soul harvesting unit. It's used to at the point of death. So they say walk to the light. If I was you, I would take the other direction. But so then when you go there, there is highly advanced technology there, which then harvests the energy from the soul and the trauma and the sadness of the death of a loved one. It then takes that, wipes the memory from the person, and then at the point that it's necessary, recycles the body or the soul back into another body on Earth again. So it's a continual loop. That's what the Ouroboros is. That's the snake swallowing its own tail. It's an infinite. So essentially, human beings on this planet have got caught in a time loop, and there is once again an opening to leave. We had an opening to leave when 13,000 years ago, when Atlantis fell. We didn't make it, so then we had to start again. Now, again, there is a window opening where we can leave and separate and get out of the time loop that we're in. But they are pushing, So, okay, so we're at a point. They're upping their game themselves. They're upping their rituals and their game themselves. That's why the Baal temples have been opened in Times Square and in Trafalgar Square. Now, if you look at Times Square, you have TS, and then you have Trafalgar Square, you have TS. Well, in basic numerology, TS is 39 as well. This is a very, very, very important number. 39 being important because 93 is the number of the sun. Because we say that I'm not sure if I believe it, but it doesn't matter. The sun is said to be 93 million miles away. Now, the sun is life-giving force. The sun is all life-giving and sustains us and grows us food and keeps us alive. So 39 would be a reversal of the sun. So we have TS and 39. So Baal is the sun would be Christ consciousness. Baal would be Luciferian consciousness. So they're using numerology to reverse around, open these gates for 3 days to try and let Baal, this energy Baal, which is essentially Luciferian energy, in to continue the agenda. Okay, so there is a 3-day, they do everything in threes. 3 is very important because 3 is the Trinity. It's the most powerful figure because of its strength. Because of its strength, a pyramid or a triangle is the most sturdy, powerful. The power of 3 is the most powerful. Okay, so there is a genuine attempt to pull this deity Baal into. They're using New York and they're using London. London is going to be the new Babylon. If you look at it, it's Babylon done. Okay, so you have London going to be the new center of power. Even though it has been for a long time, it's going to be overtly an open center of power of the planet. So, a little secret here. So you have the two lines that came out of the Garden of Eden. You have the Cain line and the Abel line. Cain and Abel line. Okay. What we've been taught, once again they did a reversal, because this is what they do. Once again they did a reversal. They told us that Cain was the bad and that Abel was the good. Okay? But Abel is an anagram. And if you just switch the letters around from Abel, you'll get Baal. Okay. Just switching over slightly. So Facebook. The symbol for Facebook. I wish I had it up there. An F and then 2 like this. Symbol for Facebook. This symbol is is Tubal Cain. I talked to you about that. Tubal Cain. It is about the Tubal there on either side of the F on the Facebook is about controlling the male and controlling the Cain is a phallus or male energy. The two circles on either side are to control the male energy. Now, okay. Why do they need to control male energy?
Dlaczego potrzebują ją kontrolować?
If you want to take over a planet, okay, if you want to completely take over a planet, the first thing that you have to do is you have to take out the alpha males or the strong males from the planet. Because the strong alpha males protect the divine feminine. So, there has been a concerted effort, which is now increasing and increasing and increasing, to emasculate the strong men on the planet. A prime example would be Jenner. What's his first name? The athlete Jenner. Bruce Jenner. They wanted to, in your face, show you how they could take an Olympic athlete and turn him into a woman, so that they could show you, look how powerful we are. Okay, and you can see through television and films how they are feminizing men more and more and more. You'll see men dressed up in female clothes, or men dressed up in dresses, or in perhaps in sitcoms or in television TV shows. You'll see the male more and more emasculated and the female being the dominant, playing the dominant role. This is not to empower the female in any way. This is a trick to make it look like that it's empowering the female, when in fact it is taking away the protection from the female. The feminism movement that happened in the 60s was to destroy the family unit from the inside out. And I'm not saying this in any way that a woman shouldn't be independent and do whatever. I'm saying there is an agenda behind what is going on. If you feminize the alpha males on the planet, the divine feminine won't have protection, and if because the planet itself is female, and the divine females are a reflection of the planet. If they are not protected by the alpha males on the planet, then the war is over, and then they win. There's multiple chemicals being placed in water, in food, in deodorants, especially deodorants, because this is a gland here, so that when it's sprayed deodorant here, it absorbs directly into the glands, and which is to effeminize males. Okay, so that's where we stand in terms of the base of one aspect of the war that's going on here. They know that if they wanted to take over the final, this is the final. They've taken over multiple other planets, and they've linked them together. They've linked prison planets together, and the only one that they haven't been able to do is. Which is the hot, it's gone. No, yeah, that works. Okay, yeah. The heart is the most resilient point. The heart is the most resilient part of the human being. It's the heart that they have the most trouble with, because it's directly connected to divine source. And what this particular consciousness, vampiric parasitic consciousness, is trying to do is take over control of everything away from God's source itself. So God's source, it stems back from the war that was going on in Atlantis between the priests, the priesthood, and the scientists. The priests believed that we can create from within the heart. The scientists want to take control and build externally. So it's transhumanistic. It's technology. So they want to take over using technology and turn human beings into transhuman beings. So to disconnect us from the heart completely, and that way then they can finally take control of this planet, link it up to all the other prison planets, and then have a one whole prison system. So to summarize my connection to all of this, I was one of the children who was born from one of the mothers connected to Project Oak Tree. And I was born in the late 70s, and I was one of the 42 children connected to the IBIS program. There might be another term than IBIS. James Casbolt coined that term. It makes sense to me. It makes sense why there were 42 children involved as well. 42 is the glyph for Jupiter. Jupiter is expansion. It also connects to Hermes. It also connects to Thoth. So that makes sense. It may well be called another. It may be called Project something else, but I'm just using the term IBIS because it sort of fits. But it might be another word. I know some females. I know certainly 2 females who are involved in the female parallel female version of IBIS, and I would say I know 3 who were involved in the male IBIS project. 85% of the children involved in these projects are now dead because they wanted to push the limits of the body, the bodies that were made to see how strong they were. They fought us against each other unwillingly. We didn't want to, and they did it through mind control. I didn't want to fight with Michael, James Casbolt. I have love for him, and I would never have chosen to gone to a war with him on any level, but circumstances put me in that position. And I know who did it too. There are very wealthy people behind the scenes, not known, behind the scenes, who they see it as a sport as well. So they create these beings, people, and they like to watch them fight for sport. They also use the female line and the male line to in sexual union and sex magic to create reality. They have had an understanding throughout all time, and they do understand now, perfectly refined, that sex magic is a cheat way of creating reality very quickly. It's like a hack. It's like a computer hack to create reality quickly. It's like hacking reality, hacking the matrix reality to build whatever you want. Everybody in the room has a certain amount of chi, energy, and some more than others. And so these particular children that were born have very high amount of energy. So then if they pair them off with specific, they pair a male off with a specific female, and then they put them in a sexual union, then they are able to build businesses, companies, that's very, very, very quickly.
Em,
That makes sense. I'm trying here.
nie, chodzi o to, że
Okay. So where to go next? Yeah, I was going to think. Why don't we do questions? Yeah, I can do half an hour.
zachęcam Państwa do zadawania pytań.
Sure, let's do questions. Anybody can ask me anything you want.
Prosimy pytania
And I will
zadawać.
tell you the truth. How did I get rid
Jak
of
się
it?
tego
I
pozbyłeś?
didn't.
Nie pozbyłem się.
Why am I still alive?
Dlaczego nadal żyjesz?
Are you asking me why I'm still alive? Because I ended up having the will to live stronger than the others. It's like saying in a boxing match, why did that person lose? Why did that person get knocked out? It's like saying in a war. It's like saying in a war between two armies. Why did that army lose? Yes. Luckily I have people around me who know me, who love me, and when somebody loves somebody, really loves somebody, there's always like a guard, there's a protection that way. I also have to make sure that I do certain ceremonies and rituals and visualization exercises to make sure that I'm protected, especially astrally, because astrally is where it's at, where they come really hard.
Negative, yes.
Okay, and what's the question?
The question is, tak. The lady is interested in explaining what means to have rhesus negative blood.
Rhesus negative blood is not Earth blood, so it's off-planet blood. It works. Rhesus negative blood is
Could you keep your mic, please?
Rhesus negative blood is hive mind blood, so it works as a collective. So if you have 1,000 people with rhesus negative blood, they're all connected subconsciously. They also have the ability to have explosive power, and then very, very tired. They don't maintain. They're not long distance runners. As an analogy, they would be great sprinters, but they burn out very quickly. There's life on every single planet is teeming with life on the surface and internally. It just depends which frequency you're looking at. Also, when they show you pictures of the moon or Mars, how do you know that they are legitimate pictures of the moon or Mars?
Were you able to slide away from that and connect to your heart and activate your heart? And is it the reason why you are still alive?
Yes, I work on that. I work on that every day, every single day of the week.
Każdego dnia nad tym pracuję. A jeszcze Max dodał, że inne osoby też żyją. I właśnie to jest ten powód najprecyzyjniejszy.
Otherwise I wouldn't be.
W przeciwnym razie nie byłbym żywy.
Max, you said that we met here, not here, we met before, all of us, we met in other place, in other times. You have certainty, are you certain that it happened before? How do you know it? Are you certain? Are you sure that it happened before? How do you know it?
Because I understand how time cycles work.
Okay. Is there any reason we met? We are meeting again.
Yes, because the same thing is happening again that it happened 12,000 years ago.
Okay.
There's a cataclysm about to happen.
So this meeting is very important today.
Very, 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 very important.
Thank you.
Very, very, very important.
Pytanie było o to, że Max wspomniał, że wszyscy tutaj, jak jesteśmy, już wcześniej się spotkaliśmy.
I could answer questions all day. I mean, I have encyclopedic knowledge. I could speak all day long about it. So I mean, if anybody wants to ask questions at any time, or you know, I'm always willing to
Max mówi, że może przez cały dzień odpowiadać na pytania, ponieważ jest do dyspozycji i ma ogromną wiedzę na ten temat. Ale zanim, ja chcę przetłumaczyć pytanie i odpowiedź.
I have the information inside of me, inside of my cells already.
They're laughing because they need time to interpret the answer, the question and the answer, because I have it